Hello and welcome to TopX, where we count down the very best of YouTube. I'm your host Dan, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 web series on YouTube. For this list, we're counting down any and all episodic web series that you can find on YouTube. Although quality and production value are both really important, we also factored in votes from our users, personal preference, and general impact on the YouTube and web series communities. Number 10, Mortal Kombat Legacy. Movie adaptations of video games are notoriously bad, and when you couple that with the limited budgets of a web series, you can understand why a lot of people would be skeptical of Legacy, which is why it turned out to be such an amazing, flawless victory. Seeking finance for a feature film, creator Kevin Tancharoen used this as a pitch for Warner Brothers. While they didn't bite, it did garner enough fan enthusiasm to warrant a fully fleshed out web series and eventually a Blu-ray release. Produced by Machinima, the series is surprisingly well put together. The first season is a prequel to the original game, explaining the backstories of all the characters and why they are in the tournament, whereas the second season deals with the tournament itself. Pretty sweet. Furthermore, as of early 2015, rumors are swirling of a third season in the works. Number 9, The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. While it is rare, there are some styles of movies that are actually better suited for a web series, as is the case with our next entry, The Haunting of Sunshine Girl.
I know this is a little strange, but I'm going to make videos, a bunch of them, and hopefully I'll capture what is going on in this house. I'm not even kidding you. There is some creepy sketch stuff going down.
The series follows the story of Sunshine Girl, who is documenting the paranormal activities she experiences in her new home and thereafter in later seasons. Clearly inspired by the Paranormal Activity movies, the show uses a weblog, documentary, found footage sort of style to give it its sense of authenticity. The idea, at least initially, is that you're just following a very unfortunate girl's YouTube channel.
I'm really interested in the paranormal side of things. I don't know what I believe necessarily is in this house, but there is something in this house.
The show was popular enough to garner 10 seasons, a Kickstarter campaign for a movie, and even a potential TV show in 2015. Stay tuned. Number 8, Convos with My 2-year-old. Kids, they make no sense. That's basically the premise of our next pick, Convos with My 2-year-old.
Yeah, but I'm just not sleepy. I'm bored.
You're supposed to be bored. It's bedtime. My goal is actually to bore you to sleep.
Fine.
All right.
Created by Matthew Clark, the idea here is that he's reenacting conversations that he's had with his 2-year-old daughter, Coco. The catch being that Coco is played by a fully grown man. The idea here is essentially that kids say the darndest things, and hearing them come from an adult makes you realize just how ridiculous they are, while also emphasizing the sweet innocence of their youth.
Let's get your pants on.
No, I don't want to wear pants.
Nobody wants to wear pants. That's just the way the world works, so.
I'm not wearing those pants.
What's great about this is the delivery, because the guy who plays Coco never really talks like a 2-year-old, so he just comes off as a very unreasonable adult. Of course, there are actual flashes of the real Coco thrown in, but that just serves to contextualize the whole thing and remind you what's going on.
What do you want to do for dinner?
No, you can't talk to her right now.
What?
You can't talk to her right now because I'm talking to her right now.
Number 7, Jake and Amir. What started as a humble sketch with college humor writers Jake and Amir playing exaggerated versions of themselves has blossomed into a beloved web series, and our number 7 pick.
Gun to your head, how much would you pay for courtside seats at the Yankees?
Tell you what, buddy, put your hand down.
What? Why?
Because it's irritating me, okay? It's like...
I'm invading your space.
Yeah, you can't ask me a question and then use your hand and immediately interrupt me, okay? You have long arms. Stop it.
Essentially the classic straight guy, funny guy setup, each episode has Jake and Amir bantering back and forth at lightning pace. What's kind of funny is that in some episodes, Jake takes the role of the straight, serious guy, and in others, it's Amir. Either way, the results are equally hilarious.
Okay, dude, sorry, but you have to stop posting on Reddit.
Relax, I only post cool and interesting stories. At most,
One a month?
You posted 3,900 times today.
I said at most.
Then you're using that word wrong.
Like a number of other shows we'll see today, there's actually a really strong fan base that's pushing to get this made into a real-life TV show. So, hashtag greenlight Jake and Amir. Number 6, Ruby. Our number 6 entry is the anime-styled RWBY, or Ruby as it's pronounced, which is produced by Rooster Teeth. As far as high concept goes, it doesn't get much higher than this. The series takes place in the world of Remnant as 4 girls, all with incredible abilities, fight against shadowy monsters known as the Creatures of Grimm. In case you hadn't guessed, much of the inspiration here is drawn from the fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm. The series is renowned for both its impressive visuals and unique storytelling. Also, fans of Halo should recognize Jen Taylor as the voice of the mysterious narrator. She also played Cortana.
Mankind has grown quite fond of recounting the exploits of heroes and villains, forgetting so easily that we are remnants, byproducts of a forgotten past.
Number 5, Video Game High School. Hogwarts Smogwarts. This is where you really want to send your applications. Created by YouTube sensation Freddie Wong, VGHS tells the story of Brian, who gets accepted to the ultra-elite video game high school. Aside from the crazy cameos and overload of pop culture references, the show features thrilling action sequences, as any gameplay is reenacted with actors instead of CGI footage, making for an interesting mix of action movie and video game tropes.
Jenny, get ready for the shot of your...
This is actually a pretty high-profile entry. As I mentioned earlier, there are really big-name cameos, some pretty good acting throughout, and really awesome effects. It's also got the attention of the right people because you can now catch it on Netflix as well, but you should watch it on YouTube. Number 4, H+, the digital series. Now we're getting into some really high-budget stuff. At number 4 is a series you would have never guessed was made for the web, Bryan Singer's H+. Yeah, that Bryan Singer.
What's happening?
I gotta go help him.
Please no!
H+ tells the story of a not-too-distant future where a third of the world's population has a computer implanted inside them, which allows them to connect to the internet 24/7. Of course, this is all fine and dandy until a virus starts affecting those with the implant.
It's more than the airport network. The whole world network is infected.
Honestly, it's almost not fair to include this on a list of more humble shows. Aside from big-name actors and crazy production value, there's also beautiful cinematography. It's pretty much indistinguishable from something you'd see on AMC or Showtime. Number 3, Homestar Runner. Jumping back from a cutting-edge web series to one of the earliest entries in the genre, at number 3 we have Homestar Runner, home of the infamous Strong Bad and Trogdor the Dragon. Homestar essentially started as a series of flash games designed by brothers Mike and Matt Chapman, ostensibly because they were displeased with modern children's books. Soon, their most popular character, Strong Bad, took center stage in animated shorts where he would read emails from fans.
Yo-yo, Strong Bad. Hey, Strong Bad. Well, which is it? Yo-yo or Hey, Strong Bad?
The show garnered a cult following which steadily grew until 2009 when the brothers decided to move on to other projects. But now it's 2014 and the brothers Chapman are back. Like I said, to know this is to essentially know the history of humor on the internet, so it's worth checking out for that alone.
Now hang on, we don't want to forget about the fake ads for nerd culture products that don't really exist.
Did someone say nerd cultures? Huh?
No.
Number 2, The Guild. Next up is the show that turned Felicia Day into one of the first big web celebrities, the ultra-popular The Guild.
It's Friday night, and still jobless, yay. My therapist broke up with me. Oh yeah, there's a gnome warlock in my living room, sleeping on my couch.
Okay, so first a little backstory here. In an MMO, or massive multiplayer online game, a guild is a group of players you associate with in-game and do quests with, sort of like a team. Okay, so in the show The Guild, Felicia plays a member of a guild who is trying to step away from her in-game commitments and lead a normal life, which becomes complicated when one of her guild members shows up on her real-life doorstep.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Of course you know me. Remember I was gored by a wyvern last week and you totally resurrected me, and then I bought a blue flower for you from the gardens of Bleaklands, and it was totally worth the money, but it was a lot, but it was worth it.
Zabu?
The show follows her and her various guild members as they try to juggle their lives both in and out of the game, with the two often coming into conflict.
Who would pay us for that?
The storylines are sordid and compelling. People could watch between tournament bouts.
Thanks, sir, but I don't think that's appropriate for our organization at this time.
This was one of the first series ever to really focus on video games and their impact on people's lives. I'll leave it up to you to guess which game this is based on, but I'll give you a hint. It's the one you're thinking of. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Red vs. Blue. Either you knew this was going to be number 1, or you are completely baffled as to what the kids are watching these days. Our top pick is a series that predates YouTube itself, Red vs. Blue.
Is there really a God watching everything, with a plan for us and stuff? What? I mean, why are we out here in this canyon?
Animated in the various Halo in-game engines, Red vs. Blue follows the life of several self-aware Halo Spartans stuck in a multiplayer game. Funnily enough, the bulk of the show's content revolves around dialogue and character interaction, and not the sort of action that you would expect from a legendary FPS.
Man, that guy is dumber than you are.
You mean he's dumber than you are?
Wow, Tucker. That was a great comeback.
Initially intended to be just a 6-episode miniseries, Red vs. Blue exploded into popularity, even gaining support from Microsoft itself. It is now the second longest running web series, just behind Homestar Runner, and is technically the longest running episodic series, with over 230 episodes. Pretty fraggin' impressive.
I'm sorry, I thought we were going to be fighting here. Son of a bitch! Round 1, Felix. God, you're a tool.
With countless amazing series out there, we're bound to have missed a few of your favorites, so let us know in the comments anything we may have forgotten. Check out our suggest page if you want to suggest on future episodes. Look us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And for more great top 10s published every day, be sure to check us out at WatchMojo.com.